that you receive pardon from His Highness?
So the perception about the prosecution for me and for others all changed, that it is not just a place of punishment but a place of pardon. And to me, it became like a temple of justice.
Wow.
When they talk about Dubai, they talk so highly about it. And I realized that these are the Goodwill Ambassadors of Dubai. Prosecution had helped me solve my cases and I wanted to do something for them. And thankfully, when I met Mr. Khalifa, who is probably, so he reports to His Excellency Isam Mohammedan, and His Excellency Isam Mohammedan, I believe, reports to His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. This person, I would say, he's probably number 4 or number 5 in the rank, and yet so humble, so down to earth, so respectful.
That's amazing.
So respectful.
To know we have good people in prosecution. Hi everyone, I'm your host Aysha and I'm so excited to have each one of you on this incredible journey ahead with real stories, real power and real purpose. On this show, we get phenomenal people who share their stories of transformation, resilience and self-discovery. These wonderful people have turned their pain into purpose, their challenges into growth, and I'm sure listening to these conversations, you'll definitely be inspired to be the best version of yourself. Let me introduce to my very first guest on this show, Peeneshsanghvi, the unstoppable Himalayan guy. I'll tell you in a while why I tagged him the Himalayan guy, but let me share an interesting fact about him. He's the only Indian to drive from Dubai to India via road. Isn't it cool? Interestingly, he also has helped people to get released from the jail and received royal pardon from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, ruler of Dubai. Isn't that amazing? Well, the reason why I have tagged him the Himalayan guy, it's because that's where he feels it's his real home, a safe place to breathe, to reset, and to reclaim his life back. It's my honor to have him on my very first show.
Thank you, Aysha, for such a splendid introduction. And it's a privilege for me to be your first guest, a title which I know I will always own it, no matter how many more guests you have on this podcast.
For sure. You'll always be remembered. The first ones are always remembered.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Let's talk about something which many men carry in silence. The emotional burden of legal battles, society pressures, negative thoughts. So I've heard like you have been instrumental in receiving that royal pardon from His Highness. So I would like to know that story. I'm still like, I'm not able to absorb that. Yeah, that you receive pardon from His Highness. That's cool.
Yeah, that's true. I have been instrumental in helping some people to help them get released from their criminal cases which involved jail sentence or other charges, including deportation or other more severe criminal charges. Yes, that's true.
How you end up catering to such a case? Like, I'm sure there would be a complexity of dealing with legal battles, knowing that you don't have a legal background, but still you came across a case which and you end up receiving pardon. I would love to know like how you end up doing that. What's the story behind it?
Yes, so I cannot divulge into the fine details of the case, but I can tell you in general what it was. But before that, I would like to tell you how I got into it, especially because I don't have a background in
exactly.
law. So just very briefly, I was facing some legal challenges, and I had to engage a lawyer, only to know at some stage that the lawyer had no role to play in that case, and yet he had charged me a fee for that. I was devastated with the case as it is, and on top of that, I discovered that the lawyer had fleeced me, and I was just shattered.
Oh.
I didn't know how to get out of it, so I was visiting prosecution, asking for help, meeting people, but there was no help from anywhere. Every morning, going from home to prosecution was such a dreadful journey, and I was going through so much pain. I mean, in my case, I was still sustaining it, but I can tell you, if it was for somebody else, it was like a complete breakdown for me. Just when I was giving up on this, I had a chance to meet a very senior person, and who not only heard my story about it, but he made me feel that he felt the pain that I was going through. Aysha, that conversation changed my life. That was the first time I felt somebody had shown some concern, and I felt that I was heard, and
Wow.
that changed.
Felt you were heard.
That I was heard. Over a period of time, case reached the conclusion, and with the guidance and with support, moral support, and other ways of support, whatever that he could offer, I managed to fulfill all those formalities on my own without a lawyer, and that allowed me to understand the procedures. This was possible only because of this one person that I met. I would love to take his name, but I can't, because I have promised him to keep confidentiality about his identity.
Okay.
Now my matter was over, and I
Okay.
was so delighted that I was able to receive help from this person, and I wanted
Yeah.
to pay it back to him. But I couldn't work out the modalities because I didn't have a legal background.
Yeah.
So I started talking to people within the community, and there were some people who came to know how I solved my case. So one of the person approached me with their matter, and the matter was basically the person had a jail sentence and a deportation.
Okay.
That was the first case. So I went to this person and said, look,
Yeah.
this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And he laughed, because what I had done was still a small thing, and this matter was way out of my league. But looking at my enthusiasm and the good intention of helping a person, and mainly to show how can I pay it back, he just said that, look, this is too complicated. Nothing can do it. Only His Highness Sheikh Mohammed can do it. Now, he said it in a manner to say that this is not possible. It is not possible for me to do it.
Okay.
But I took it the other way. I took it literally, that if His Highness is the only person who can do it, then let's go to His Highness and tell me how to do it.
Oh, wow.
Now, this was too much. He laughed it out, and he said, okay, let's reconvene. And then, so next week we meet, and I was there in his office next week.
Okay.
Looking at the seriousness, then he took me through the procedures to it. I fulfilled those procedures on behalf of this person. And in a month's time, we saw that application got some attention. And this raised our hope. This raised his hope. More than that, it raised my hope also. I thought it would take 3 to 4 months to fulfill all that. But after 7 months, I was in a one-on-one conversation with one of the very senior guy in public prosecution. And we were discussing how to find a solution for this. And this was possible only because of him and a few good men in prosecution. There are other people at the senior level whose name are already there in public domain. So I'm still comfortable in sharing their name, because of the pardon that this person received. It has changed their lives. Not only their lives, but the lives of their family members, immediate family members, and extended family members.
That's nice to know how your little intention to help someone made an impact on a larger scale, and you were handling the cases which were quite complex without any legal background. So that's really commendable.
What really worked is just the intensity of paying it back
Oh, yeah.
to prosecution. Prosecution had helped me solve my cases, and I wanted to do something for them. That is it. Now, when I look back, I think it was my ignorance which worked.
Okay.
I was ignorant to understand the intensity of this case. Had I known how complex it is, I would have not taken it.
Okay.
And because I was ignorant about it, I thought I would be able to do it.
Oh, nice.
And thankfully, when I met Mr. Khalifa, who is probably, so he reports to His Excellency Isam Homedan, and His Excellency Isam Homedan, I believe, reports to His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. And when I was discussing this case with him, you can imagine that for such a serious matter, and where the fate of this person would be decided based on how this conversation goes, and I had only, I think, 15 or 30 minutes maximum to discuss on this, I was nervous. But Mr. Khalifa, I can say, a man of few words, but he understood what I was going through. And he put me at ease. I felt comfortable, and within 5 minutes, I could gather courage to discuss the case exactly. And very nicely, very politely, we discussed. And he said, I cannot promise what the outcome would be, but I promise that this case will be discussed whenever he gets a chance to meet. And Aysha, I would like to show you. This is the letter
Wow.
signed by His Excellency Isam Homedan to say that by the power or authority of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, all charges against this person have been dropped,
Oh, wow.
and the person is released.
What a
And
blissful
I
and
want to
journey.
thank
Yeah.
all those few good men in public prosecution who have
Nice.
made life possible for these people. Not only that, but they have not just given them their dignity back, but a hope to restart their life. They have given them a second chance to live their life. And now all these people, some of them, they are still living in Dubai.
Yeah.
They are very grateful to the rulers, to all those who help them. And from their side, what they are doing is contributing by helping others.
Wow.
And very recently, I met one of the person. After 8 years, I met them. And so I had helped release that the husband of this person, and husband and wife both are now helping other people,
Oh, wow.
whether it is
Brilliant.
legal matters or whether if they need psychological support or counseling or anything, but mainly those who have been involved in criminal cases. And I'm glad to know that one good step done many years ago has now become a movement, and many have been benefited, and it is, it is just their way of paying it forward.
Yeah, I think when men are going through these kind of struggling with this legal battles, what they need is a second chance to prove that they can come up better. They can be the better version of what they were before. So I believe
Not
in this.
only this, and when I talk to them, they share the same story, that how their life used to be, or how they used to feel going to the prosecution. Because that was a place where you see people with sad faces and sad stories, because all of them are going through difficult times. That is the reason why they are there. But things changed for them. And this place was not just a place where people get prosecuted. They felt that this is a place where people get pardoned also. So the perception about the prosecution for me and for others all changed, that it is not just a place of punishment, but a place of pardon. And to me, it became like a temple of justice.
Wow. That's the first time, Temple of Justice.
It was no longer a dreadful feeling, the thought of going to the prosecution.
That's so nice to know that, those few good men still exist in prosecution who are creating such perception. People are not aware of it. The way people perceive, like, of course, when anyone goes to court and all, they're always, in that feeling, stress, burden, a lot of anxiety, what will happen, a lot of turmoil inside, like emotional turmoil going on.
When I talk to these people, especially, let's say, this one person, she's now in Philippines.
Okay.
And I spoke to her husband and them some time back. And that conversation, I think half of the conversation was just about thank you and God bless you. Thank you and God bless you.
So
After every
nice.
sentence, as a prefix and a suffix. And I feel that this thank you and God bless you, out of that 25% of it is being there for this one person, for His Highness thing. And those good wishes are for them. And now they say that when they talk about Dubai, they talk so highly about it. And
nice.
I realize that these are the Goodwill Ambassadors of Dubai.
True.
All these people who have been pardoned, I think they will never forget about this for this life. And anybody who is going through it, they feel so proud to share this story in Dubai or outside of Dubai. And especially for this person who was the first point of contact for me, who was the first person who helped me, and because of that, now everybody else is so grateful and thankful to him. And there is one more thing. When you speak to them, they try to be so neutral and normal about it, saying that this is their job. But I feel they have gone beyond their line of duty.
Wow.
When it comes to fulfilling the procedures, when it comes to understanding the case, yes, that could be the line of duty. But feeling the pain, the empathy that they have, and going out to see how it can be resolved with minimal with minimal difficulty to them, that is something which is very personal. It is their own inherent qualities, and not just because of the position what they hold. And here, Aysha, I'm talking about people who are very, very senior in their line. Like this person, I would say he's probably number 4 or number 5 in the rank, and yet so humble, so down to earth, so respectful.
That's amazing.
So respectful.
To know we have good people in prosecution.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, if at all we ever have a chance, this one person that I was talking about, if I can ever bring him on the podcast, the friend that I was talking about in prosecution, I'm sure he would have many stories to tell about people who face difficulties in prosecution. But as I said, he likes to keep a low profile thing. But I hope one day
I wish so.
Could succeed to bring him on the podcast.
Would be my
and this would be my way of saying thanks to him for his support to me all throughout.
I would love to have him here on this chair right in front of me. And in fact, what completely turned your story was like talking to that one person.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, Aysha. Yeah.
Yeah.